and welcome to episode 4 of 15 Minutes with Patsy. I hope you've had the chance to watch the first 3 episodes. Definitely not professional, but we're working on it, and we will get there eventually. But until then, we're going to do the best we can, because this is what God has called me to do. As always, we open with Mark 16:15, and this is Jesus talking. He said to them, talking about the disciples, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature." The world means not just our whole world, but it also means our world in our backyards, our neighbors, our church family that doesn't know God. It's just to preach to everyone, and then preach can be a strong word. It's just tell everyone. As our pastor says, every number has a name, and every name has a story. So there are many stories out there. I heard one today that it breaks my heart to hear these stories, but yet at the same time it fills me with joy to be able to hear what God is doing, and I'm just thankful for that. In the last video, I talked about being a 14-year-old mother, the things I went through. And one of the things that I was thinking about is, I told you about my daughter being stillborn. And I'm sure there's questions as to why she was stillborn, why I only got to hold my baby for a minute or two. I can't tell you. The doctors couldn't tell me. I only can go on an assumption, and I will not reveal anything on here that is an assumption. With my getting older and more medical knowledge, I think about it and I wonder if what I assume was what happened. But again, I do not reveal assumptions on this channel. Six weeks after my daughter being stillborn, I found out I was pregnant again. And life wasn't any easier during that pregnancy, but I did make it 9 months with him. And I call him my life giver. He gave me life because I wasn't sure of how I felt about my first child being stillborn. At that age, there's not a whole lot of feelings, not understanding, but he was my life giver. After he was born, at the age of 16, I began drinking. And the more often I drank, the more I drank. My drinking was to cover or hide or numb the things that I was going through in my life. in later episodes, I may reveal everything that I went through. But for now, this is as deep as we're going in that. The alcoholism caused me not to be a good mother. It caused me to not be faithful to my husband at the time. It caused me to do a lot of things that I, being Patsy, would not normally do. The years went by. My husband at that time, we divorced. I actually left him for another man. A man that I thought I would marry and be with the rest of my life. But that only lasted 5 years. And things just went bad all of a sudden. So then I left there. I had an affair. I had one night stands. And no, let me back up. Before me and my first husband separated, 3 years before, I found out I was pregnant again with my daughter. And at 3 months pregnant, I found out I had cervical cancer. The doctor said as long as I was pregnant, the cancer would not grow or get larger. But once she was born, it would begin to grow again. So it was decided that I would have surgery when she was 4 months old. I call her my lifesaver. And that's because had I not gotten pregnant with her, I would not have known about the cancer. Just a quick note, I've had cancer since then, and we'll go into that later in videos. But so that's twice in my life that I have been diagnosed with cancer. But thank God it's all gone. There is no cancer anywhere in my body. I am thankful for that. After the next relationship and the affair, I decided to do a revenge marriage. I happened to meet a man who was 11 years older than me, and he was a mechanic, and he worked on my car. I did not know at the time, but he was in prison. I found that out later as I got into the relationship. We ended up getting married. It was a very strange marriage. I lived with my parents, and I was in my late 20s. He lived with his dad and 2 sons, and we would just meet in the middle. So it was a very, very strange relationship, but a very horrible relationship as well. He was an alcoholic and a drug addict, and there was times that he would beat me. which would bring back memories of my first marriage. I ended up with the side of my face deep black and blue one time. That marriage, strange marriage, lasted about 5 years. And then one New Year's Eve dinner, I got introduced to the man who is now my husband. Is this my whole life story? No, not by a long shot. But there will be times in future videos that I share more than what I'm sharing now. I'm just giving you an overview of my life, but there will be videos going into more detail. I just want everyone to know that I appreciate you watching these videos. I plan to do many, many more. I did want to say one thing about unexpected pregnancies, such as mine at the age of 14. And it can happen at any age. You don't have to be a teenager or a young woman. But an unexpected pregnancy is a crisis. It's something you don't expect to happen in your life. But please seek advice before making any drastic decisions. You never know what your decision might be, and you'll never know what effect you may have on this world. I will say that when I married my current husband, and he's my last husband, I gained 2 bonus children. We do not call each other's children stepchildren. They are our bonus children. His son and daughter was a bonus when I married him. And my husband's telling me I have 2 minutes left now. So, I have an announcement to make about next week's video. I will be having a guest with me. She's a very good friend of mine. And we're very close. And she has an awesome testimony. So I want to bring in this friend next week to share her testimony with you.